Here we are on Ambergris Caye, again looking out to the ocean, watching to see the next hurricane that might come through. This one is Hurricane Felix. Felix is in the Caribbean, now heading west towards Central America. Joining me now to give me an update is District Coordinator for NEMO, Jim JanMohammed. Jim, well, here we go again.
Again, yeah.
Can you tell me the current status and what's been going on today and what's the future have in store?
Okay, we started voluntary evacuation this morning. You can understand that if the hurricane decides to change track, we will have a very short span of evacuation time. And so it's always better if our people evacuate a little early. So we started early at 8 o'clock this morning, and we've had a steady trickle of people evacuating. I've not got the figures as yet, but I should have them pretty soon of how many people evacuated. We're having a meeting at 6 o'clock this evening with the San Pedro Emergency Committee, and by that time we will have all the reports in from various sectors. One of the other things I wanted in early evacuation was that if Belize City decides to get evacuated, then we don't create a chaos down there by having two sets of people going through in big numbers. So if most of my people have left by early tomorrow, and then if they need to decide to evacuate Belize City, it'll be easier, no?
Absolutely. This has got to be very difficult. We had Dean, just a couple of weeks ago, and now we've got Felix. The people, they are hopefully prepared for evacuation, but boy, how many of these can they take?
Yeah, I've provided one boat free of charge for the people that we had 70 people just left about 10 minutes ago, left the island, which was one of the last boats. Tomorrow morning I'm bringing in 2 boats, and they'll be able to carry about 60 each. So there'll be 120 people that would not need to pay. The government of Belize will take the tab for that. I explained it to the Prime Minister that after having evacuated for Dean, they haven't had time enough to recuperate the money for another evacuation, and he brought it up in Cabinet this morning and gave us a way to get these people off. No?
Fantastic. Now, we've all been watching the track of Felix, and Ambergris Caye and Belize was right in the bullseye for a while. Last night we were all thinking the worst. Now it's gone south. But we still can't let our guard down, can we? No,
I got a phone call from the U.S. Navy. I have good contact with them about this hurricane stuff, and they called me, and the National Hurricane Center in Miami gives me a call sometimes very early in the morning. But they both were warning me that, once it hits the Nicaraguan north coast of Nicaragua, it could bounce. And, just like Dean bounced off Jamaica, this could bounce, and it could bounce in a different direction because it's more favorable to go to warm sea than to go to land. And all the other currents around it. I can't let my guard down. I'm just praying. I mean, I'm feeling sorry for wherever it goes, but one always wants people to be safe, no? So I'm just hoping that it doesn't change directions once it hits that Nicaraguan coastline.
Absolutely. Any idea when you will, or people will halt evacuations? Will it just depend on when the seas get choppy and when the winds pick up?
Yeah, we stop our air evacuation as soon as the air turbulence, and remember our aircraft have to be tied down, and we do that in Guatemala, in Flores, Guatemala. So that will occur, and when that occurs we need to give them enough time, so that will stop. And of course the boat evacuation, the evacuation by sea stops when the seas start to get rough, and we're constantly listening to all the captains of the boats as they arrive in Belize City, or when they arrive here they're constantly telling us what the situation is. When they arrive at Belize City and they don't think they should go back, they will let us know, and we stop further evacuation and make them. Also our boat captains all need to tie down their boats in safe areas, so they need some time too.
Absolutely. Now, I've been all over the island today. I've been very impressed with the people putting up the plywood. It seems like, and everybody's been very orderly. I was getting supplies as well. What's your reaction to people's preparedness?
Well, I'm very glad that they're still taking it seriously. I always worry that when one day they say, oh, this Jim doesn't know what he's talking about, he makes us evacuate, and then all of a sudden nothing happens, But the only problem is there's only one entity that I know that could tell me where that hurricane is going, and that's God. And since nobody human can tell me that, I have to err on the side of safety rather than danger. No?
Absolutely. Well, you're doing a great job. We appreciate all your hard work. I know you need to get going with some other meetings, so we will talk to you probably in the morning, and we'll just watch Felix very closely.
Well, yeah, I just closed operations up in Corozal. I was up in Corozal taking care of the relief operations. I got flown in after Dean to Corozal, so I have still not had a chance to recuperate. But anyway, Corozal did need help. We've now stopped our relief operation, and we started the pre-hurricane operations because all the shelters have to be cleared and cleaned, and we'll get ready for another one just in case, even Corozal, because the whole coastline of Belize is on hurricane watch. So I have some military guys out there, Colonel Ramirez and Major Requena, who are very good. They work with me all through the relief operations. I left them in charge over there to take care of the 2 islands, which I'm supposed to, no?
Absolutely. Well, thank you again for your time. We'll talk to you in the morning. Thanks, Jim. For the San Pedro Sun, I'm Ron Sniffin from Ambergris Caye in Belize.